And we're live, and we go straight to action. I tell you what, not much time in between those games, and trying to get rosters and lineup cards did not go easily, but we're ready to go. Devin Peterson on the mound for your Georgetown Eagles. He'll face off against Cunningham, Reese, and Pantuso to start the ball game from the stretch. The first pitch is inside for ball one to Kason Cunningham. And I will have to update our scoreboard here in just a second, so bear with me as I do that. I'll call the game while we update it, but it is 1-0. The count, the 1-0 pitch inside for ball two. 2-0 the count to Kason Cunningham. Peterson comes set to stretch the 2-0 pitch. Ground ball pulled foul down the first baseline. 2-1 the count now to Kason Cunningham. He is the shortstop for the Johnson Jaguars out of San Antonio, Texas. 2 balls and a strike for Peterson. He sets up in the stretch. 2-1 pitch stays up and away. Ball 3. 3-1 now the count to Pantuso. Peterson gets the sign from Herrera. The 3-1 pitch is up and away. Ball 4. A leadoff walk for the Jaguars as the first man aboard in the ball game. And that'll bring up Tristan Reese, the right fielder.
Jaguars number 7, Tristan Reese.
Attempted bunts, fouled off back behind the plate. And so now we'll update it here. I'll try to get it updated. See how it goes in my, there it is, top of the first. So now we have a 0-1 count with a runner on first base for the Jaguars. Throw over to first base, not in time. No balls, 1 strike to Tristan Reese. Chad Pantuso on deck. He's the second baseman in the 3-hole for the Jaguars. Another throw over to first, not in time. The Eagles stay in their road grays. Georgetown capital block print lettering on the front of the jerseys in Georgetown blue. Georgetown blue numbers on the back. Knee-high pants with blue socks. The runner off and running the punt out in front of the mound. Peterson fields it. The throw to first in time. The runner going first to third, and he's going to be in there safely. Kason Cunningham, the shortstop, showing his speed as the Eagles never looked at him off the bunt attempt. He rounded second on a full run to third, and so a sac bunt leads to a 2-base sacrifice. And now a runner on third with 1 out. 1-3 on the putout to record the out on Reese on the sac bunt. And now Pantuso steps in for the right side. First pitch swinging. Fly ball down the left field line, but it curls out of play for strike 1. 0-1 the count. And so a reset here, number 8, Chad Pantuso. The Jaguars leave on the white pants with the multicolored socks and switch to the digital camo jerseys. The dark numbers. Peterson from the stretch, the 0-1 pitch. Breaking pitch misses low for ball 1. 1-1 to count. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Pantuso. Runner on third with 1 out. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking pitch down in the turf. Scoop there by Herrera. And now the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And makes a chill cut on deck. The catcher for the Jaguars. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled off on a check swing. Count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball out in front of the mound. And now it's going to be a play home. And Peterson's going to dive and make the tag at the play. Bang, bang play. Kason Cunningham trying to do it on his own, and to no avail. He's out at home. So a fielder's choice allows Pantuso to reach first base, but what a play there by the speedy center fielder, now pitcher,
Now batting number 2.
Devin Peterson. So it'll be one assisted on that tag out for out number 2. A big play there to cut down the runner at home. So we'll reset the count. Oops, 2 outs in the inning. Wild pitch there is going to allow Pantuso to move up to second base. First wild pitch of the ball game. So now the Jaguars have a runner at second base with 2 outs. A 1-0 count here to Chilcutt. The 1-0 pitch fouled off back to the screen. Or strike one. 1-1 the count. J.T. Farmer, the first baseman on deck for the Jaguars. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, a runner at second base. Peterson comes set. The 1-1 pitch stays high, ball 2. 2-1 now the count to Chilcutt. The 2-1 pitch just high, ball 3. 3-1 now the count to Chilcutt. 2 outs here in the top of the first. The Eagles able to cut down a runner at home plate off an attempted bunt. 3-1 pitch, fouled back out of play, and now a full cut to Mason Chilcutt, or a chop swing. Breaking glass sound effect in full workings here today. That one hit on a play, and now we reset. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a runner at second base. Chilcutt had gotten to third base on a sacrifice bunt. He took off on the play, circled second and never stopped, slid into third. Tried to score on a chopped ball out in front of home plate. Peterson tagged him out. The payoff pitch, and that one's inside for ball 4. And a 1-out walk, or 2-out walk, has runners at the corners as the runner was off from second base. Pantuso moves into third now. Chilcutt reaches on the base on balls. The second base on balls issued here by Peterson. And in steps J.T. Farmer, the first baseman. He'll step in from the right side. Throw over to first base, gets away from Floyd. The runner from third is going to be in for the safe there. So the pickoff attempt gets away from Fluid and allows the first run of the ball game to score for the Jaguars. 1-0 here. The top of the first. It'll be an error on the Eagles. First pitch to Farmer here. Popped up right side of the infield. Settling under it and making the catch is the second baseman for the Eagles. That'll be Jack Kiki. And after a half an inning, the Jaguars won. Eagles coming up to bat. Eagle baseball continues here in just a moment. The first pitch in there to Devin Peterson is a ball. As we go to the bottom of the first, trying to get all caught up here. I apologize. A 1-0 count to Devin Peterson. The 1-0 pitch is inside for a called strike on the inside corner. 1-1 to count to Devin Peterson, the pitcher here for the Eagles. From the windup, the pitcher. The 1-1 pitch. Left center field, it's going to be extra bases. Peterson quickly around first. He's headed to second base as he gets all the way to the wall. Peterson around second, and he'll be held up there. He goes through the stop sign. On to third base he goes, and he'll slide into the tag out at third base. Coach Vieira had the stop sign up. So it'll be a double and thrown out at third base.
Number 5, Tate Ritchie.
So one out here. Tate Ritchie will step in. Ritchie now in center field in this ball game for the Eagles. The pitcher, Ryan Taylor, up and in for ball one. Ritchie back in there from the windup, the 1-0 pitch. Down on the turf for ball two. 2-0 the count to Tate Ritchie. Leininger up next with Luke Hawley behind him for the Eagles here in the ball game. The 2-0 pitch right down Main Street for a called strike. 2 balls and a strike now to the senior fielder, Tate Ritchie. Ryan Taylor, the pitcher of record for the Jaguars. 5'11", 165-pound sophomore senior. The 2-1 pitch misses inside and away, up for 3-1 now. The 3-1 pitch to Ritchie. Outside corner, called strike 2. And now the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Taylor in the windup from the first base side of the rubber. Gets the sign from the catcher, Chilcutt. But not before Ritchie will call time. Took too long for Taylor to get the sign he wanted. So I'll reset. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The payoff pitch. Ritchie takes it down the middle for a called strike. So 2 outs in a row for the Eagles.
21, Riley Leininger.
First strikeout of the ball game for Ryan Taylor. That'll bring up the third baseman, number 21, Riley Leininger. Big senior will step in from the left side with 2 outs and the base is empty here in the bottom of the first. Taylor from the windup. First pitch to Leininger. Low and inside, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Riley Leininger. The 1-0 pitch. Misses low for ball 2. 2-0 the count to Leininger. From the windup, the 2-0 pitch. Low and away, ball 3. 3-0 count now to Leininger. Luke Hawley, the shortstop, on deck for the Eagles. Taylor gets a sign from the windup. The 3-0 pitch. Low and inside. A 4-pitch walk with 2 outs. Puts a runner aboard. Leininger heads down to first base. The shortstop, Luke Hawley, will step in here. First walk issued by Taylor here in the first inning.
Hawley.
Hawley steps in from the right side. Taylor switches over to the stretch. The runner at first base, nice lead. Throw over to first. Leininger in easily there under the tag from Farmer. Taylor comes set in the stretch. The first pitch to Holly. Low and away in the dirt. Nice block there by Chilcutt. 1-0 the count to Luke Holly. 2 outs and a runner at second here in the bottom of the first. 1-0. The Jaguars of San Antonio Johnson put up a run in the the top of the first to take the 1-0 lead. The 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count to Luke Holly. Jackson Rainey waits on deck. Should Holly extend the inning? 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Leininger, a 2-out walk, leads off at first base, being held on there by Farmer. Now Taylor will step off. Leininger will head back to the bag. Leininger, a big lead at first base. Taylor comes set in the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Outside for ball 2. 2-1 to Luke Holly. Taylor comes set. The 2-1 pitch. And that one's in there for a called strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A runner at first base here in the bottom of the first. Georgetown trails by 1. Luke Holly, the shortstop, steps back in for the right side. Taylor looks in and gets a sign from the catcher, Chilcutt. Comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Low and away. Ball 3. 3-2 the countdown. Full count pitch outside, ball 4. Luke Holly draws a 2-out walk, and now runners at first and second base on back-to-back 2-out walks. We'll bring up Jackson Rainey, the left-handed hitting right fielder. Second walk issued by Taylor. Rainey steps in from the left side. Leininger off second. Holly off first. Taylor stays in the stretch. The first pitch to Rainey. Rainey hits it into right field. And the right fielder charges in, settles under it, makes the catch for out number 3. So the Eagles leave 2 stranded after 1 complete inning. No runs on no hits. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and 2 runners left on. After 1 complete inning, Georgetown 0. San Antonio Johnson 1. Eagle baseball continues here in just a moment on the SHN Sports Network. And we go to the top of the second. Devin Peterson on for his second inning of work here for the Eagles. And up to bat will be the center fielder, number 1, Diego Flores. 6, 7, and 8 hitters, 2 up here in the inning. Diego Flores, Derek Maples, and Samuel Draper. Center fielder Flores steps in for the right side. The first pitch from Devin Peterson. turns the bunt, pops it up at home plate, back behind the plate. So it'll go for strike one, 0-1 to count. No balls, one strike to Flores here, leading off the top of the second for the Johnson Jaguars. Peterson comes set in the stretch, the 0-1 pitch. Outside for ball one, 1-1 the count to Diego. The 1-1 pitch for Peterson, fouled off back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Flores. Andrew Nations in left field. Tate Ritchie in center. Rainey in right for the Eagles defensively. Leininger at third. Holly at shortstop. Kiki at second. Fluid at first base. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to third. Leininger on a 2-hopper. Throws it across the diamond in time. Fluid makes the catch for out number 1. 5-3 on the put out to retire Flores. And that'll bring up the DH, number 12, Derek Maples. Maples will step in from the right side for the Jaguars here. The number 7 hitter in the lineup for the Jaguars. Peterson comes set. The first pitch to Derek Maples. Hit right back up the middle, a base hit. First hit of the ball game for the Jaguars. Has a runner on first base now, and in steps the left fielder, number 4, Samuel Draper. Peterson comes set. The first pitch to Draper. Misses for a ball, 1-0 the count. Throw over to first. Maples back in safely there. Peterson comes set. The 1-0 pitch fouled off back to the screen. The count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike down to Samuel Draper, the left fielder. On deck, the third baseman, number 22, is, we have it just the last name of Maples on the lineup card we were getting a picture of. We don't have his first name. He wasn't on the roster submitted before the tournament, so unsure of his name. But it'll be the second Maples in the lineup. Batting number 9. He waits on deck here. The 1-1 pitch from Peterson, up and away, ball 2. 2-1 the count to Draper. Two 2-1 pitch in there for a called strike. 2-2 now. The count to Samuel Draper. 1 out here in the top of the second. A runner at first base. Reached on a single to center field. The payoff pitch. Ball sent into left field. Andrew Nations will charge. He'll make the catch for out number 2. F7 in the book to retire Draper. And in steps number 22, Maples.
Next up, number 22, Maples.
So the third baseman, Maples, steps in with 2 outs. Runner still at first. Ground ball to third. Leininger fields it on a hop. The throw across the diamond in time. Nope, gets away from Fluid. It's wide of the base. And that'll allow Maples, Derek Maples, to move all the way up to third base as he was running on the pitch. So with 2 outs, now runners on the corners after the error. So the second Eagle error pops up on the board. That'll be on Leininger, E5.
Number 6, Cunningham.
Now runners at the corners. For the leadoff man, Kason Cunningham, a throw over to first. Maples back in safely there. First pitch, Cunningham takes it for a called strike. Cunningham reached on a base on balls. Moved from first to third. On a sack bunt, and then was tagged out at home, trying to get home on a chopped ground ball in front of the home plate. The 0-1 pitch is up and away, ball one. 1-1 to count now. To Kason Cunningham, the leadoff man, the shortstop for the Jaguars. Peterson comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Skips in there, ball two. 2-1 to count. To the shortstop, Cunningham. Swing and a miss on the 2-1 pitch. Makes it 2-2 now to Kason Cunningham. 2-2. 2 outs. Runners on the corners here for the Jaguars. Trying to make some noise here in the top of the second. 1 run across to the top of the first. They lead it 1-0. The 2-2 pitch up and away. Ball three. So a full count with 2 outs. The runner at first base. Maples will be off and running. John called it home, and now settle back in. Peterson comes set. The payoff pitch. Up and away, ball 4. And a 2-out walk will load the bases here. Second time that Cunningham has drawn a walk. Maples moves up to second. Derek Maples is at third. Third walk issued by Peterson. Peterson comes set. Tristan Reese laid down a sac bunt in the first inning. Steps in here from the left side. Peterson comes set in the stretch. The first pitch to Reese. Stays high for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Peterson the look in. Comes set from the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. Inside, ball 2. 2-0 the count now. Peterson comes set in the stretch. The 2-0 pitch. Stay top of the zone. Called strike 1. The early celebration by the Johnson Jaguar bench. A little early there. The strike call came after. 2-1 to count. The 2-1 pitch. Nope, Peterson will step off here and reset. 2-1 to count with 2 outs and the bases loaded here in the top of the second. Johnson trying to do some more damage as they lead it 1-0. Peterson comes set. The 2-1 pitch. Up and in. Ball 3. 3-1 to count now. The 3-1 pitch, inside corner. Called strike 2. Now all the runners will be off on the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded here in the top of the second. The payoff pitch. Pop sent over to shortstop. Luke Hawley will drift into the hole and make the play for out number 3. And the Eagles escape a bases loaded jam here in the top of the second. No runs on 1 hit, 2 errors. Or 1 error. And 3 runners left on base after an inning and a half. Johnson 1, Georgetown nothing. Eagle baseball continues in just a moment. go to the bottom of the second inning. 6, 7, and 8 hitters do up for the Eagles. Herrera, Nations, and Fluid. Herrera steps in from the right side. Taylor from the windup. The first pitch hits Herrera. So it'll be a leadoff man aboard on the hit by pitch. See who runs for the catcher here. It'll be number 2, Talon Ball, doing the courtesy running here.
Next up, number 10, Andrew Nations.
So Andrew Nations will step in here for your Eagles. Left-handed hitting left fielder. Steps in here with no outs and a runner at first base. First pitch from Taylor. Nation squares the bunt. Does down the first baseline. Dropped by the pitcher. The last-minute throw is dug out in the turf as Nations tumbles over the glove of the first baseman. The sack bunt will move courtesy runner Talon Ball up to second base. So one out here on the sacrifice bunt. David Fluid, the left-handed hitting first baseman, will step in here. 1-3 on the putout to retire Nations on the sack bunt. Fluid will step in, the first baseman, for his first at bat of the ball game here at the bottom of the second from the left side. Taylor from the stretch gets a sign and comes set. The first pitch to Fluid. Check swing. Strike one for Fluid. 0-1 the count. The prior game, Fluid 1 for 3 with the run scored. And a stolen base. The 0-1 pitch from Taylor. Fluid chops it foul. 0-2 the count. Jack Kiki, the second baseman for the Eagles here in this game, is on deck, the number 9 hitter. The Eagles trail by 1. We're in the bottom of the second, 1 out. A runner at second base as Herrera reached on a hit by pitch to open up the inning. Courtesy runner Talon Ball moved up on the sacrifice bunt from Andrew Nations, and we sit here. The runner at second at 1 out. An 0-2 count to Fluid. The 0-2 pitch. Fluid chops it out over the mount. A high bounder. It's going to be a tough play. The shortstop cuts it to throw in time. Nice stretch by the first baseman, J.T. Farmer. 6-3 on the putout to retire Fluid. That'll move Ball up to third base with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the second inning. And in steps Jack Kiki.
Now batting, number 20, Jack Kiki.
Kiki will step in from the right side. 2 down here in the bottom of the second. A runner at third base. Kiki was 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a run scored, and he gets hit by the pitch. So now runners on the corners with 2 outs. That'll bring up the pitcher, the number 1 hitter in the lineup, Devin Peterson. Second batter hit in the inning by Taylor. Devin Peterson started off the ball game with a double, but was cut down trying to get advanced to third. At third base, steps in here with an opportunity as the Eagles have runners on the corners with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the second, Taylor stays in the stretch with the runners on the corners. Kiki leads off first. First pitch to Peterson, low and outside, ball 1. That's a ball, not a strike. 1-0 the count to Devin Peterson. Peterson back in for the right side. Taylor comes set in the stretch, the 1-0 pitch. Inside corner on the breaking pitch is called a strike, 1-1 the count. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. The Eagles trying to scratch a run. Trying to even things up here in the bottom of the second. 1 run across in the top of the first for the Johnson Jaguars. Throw over to first base. Kiki back in, diving safely. Kiki leads off first, being held on by Farmer. Talon Ball leads off third. 1-1 count to Peterson, the 1-1 pitch. Low and outside. Kiki will still second without a throw. And now runners On second and third with a 2-1 count now to Devin Peterson. So another shot to the gap here for Peterson. Will score 2. He's ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Ryan Taylor from the stretch, the 2-1 pitch. Top half of the zone, called strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes for the senior pitcher, Devin Peterson. Taylor comes set, the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Eagles go down here in the bottom of the second. No runs on no hits, no errors. 2 runners left on base after 2 complete. 1-0, San Antonio Johnson leads it over your Georgetown Eagles. Eagle baseball continues in just a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. And we're back here live at Eagle Field. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. San Antonio Johnson Jaguars will bring up the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Chad Pantuso, the second baseman, steps in to lead it off against Peterson. First pitch is high for ball 1. Pantuso reached base on a fielder's choice. Scored on an error. First, the 1-0 pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike. 1-1 the count to Pantuso. Chilcutt and Farmer also due up here in the top of the 3rd. The 1-1 pitch. Lower half of the strike zone, called strike 2. 1-2 now the count. Pantuso comes set. Peterson gets the sign. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking pitch down and out for ball 2. 2-2 now the count on Pantuso. The 2-2 pitch. Check swing, check down at by the first base umpire. He said he went. A great job there by Reese Herrera to scoop it in the turf and tag the batter Pantuso. And so he'll go down on a strikeout swinging for out number 1.
Now batting number 2.
That'll bring up number 2, Masa Chilcutt, the catcher. He's 0 for 0 in the ball game. Reached on a walk and then left stranded on base. Takes the first pitch up for ball 1. JT Farmer waits on deck for the Jaguars. Masa Chilcutt back in. The 1-0 pitch stays high. Ball 2. 2-0 the count now. To Chilcutt, 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. This pitch sent into left field. Andrew Nation's on the run. He won't be able to get to it. It 1 hops off the wall. Chilcutt headed to second. And he'll be held there as the throw comes into Holly at shortstop. So a one-out double. As a runner at second here for the Jaguars. Second hit allowed by Peterson. Courtesy runners, number 16 for the Jaguars. That is Peyton Mungia, the sophomore, 5'7", 165-pound outfielder. He'll run for the catcher, Chilcutt, down at second base with one out. In steps J.T. Farmer, the first baseman. From the right side, Peterson a look back at second, turns to second. Peterson will come set now. The first pitch here to J.T. Farmer. Fouled off himself for strike one. 0-1 the count. Peterson comes set. The 0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss. Chases the breaking ball. 0-2 now the count to J.T. Farmer. One out and a runner on second. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Gets away from Herrera. The runner will move up to first, and on the drop third strike, Farmer will move down to first base. So a strikeout recorded for Peterson, but the drop third strike. Go down as a wild pitch, the second of the ball game. Now runners on the corners with one out here in the top of the third. Throw over to first base. Farmer dives back in. So Mungia is up to third. Farmer down at first. One out. Diego Flores grounded out in his only plate appearance back in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. The first pitch, he'll bunt it down the third baseline, but it's foul. So it's 0-1 now. To Flores. Derek Maples, the DH, on deck. The 0-1 count. Wade here. Throw over to first base. Farmer dives back in safely. No balls and a strike to Diego Flores. Peterson comes set. The 0-1 pitch. Bunt attempt. Misses that. Now the count, no balls and 2 strikes to Diego Flores. Farmer down at first. Struck out but reached on a drop third strike. Wild pitch. The 0-2 pitch fouled off. Flores stays alive in the at-bat. No balls and 2 strikes. One out. Runners on the corners for the Johnson Jaguars. The last ball game of this Central Texas First Pitch Classic. Peterson comes set. The runner is off. Peterson will look towards second. Let Farmer advance with the runner on third. Now runners on second and third with one out and an 0-2 count to Flores. The 0-2 pitch, sells high, ball 1, 1-2 the count. So Diego Flores with Derek Maples, the DH, on deck. One-two pitch, misses just high for ball 2. 2-2 the count. The 2-2 pitch. Line drive hit out to second base. Kiki will field it there. The throw back to second in time. Farmer drifted off the bag, and a double play gets the Eagles out of trouble here in the top of the third. No runs on one hit, and no errors, and one runner left on base. After 2.5, S.A. Johnson 1, Georgetown nothing. Eagle baseball continues in just a moment. We're back here at Eagle Field. We go to the bottom of the third inning. The Eagles will bring up the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to start the inning. Tate Ritchie steps in. The first pitch from Taylor misses low for ball one. 1-0 the count to Tate Ritchie. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Struck out swinging back at the first inning. Steps in here to lead things off. The Eagles get out of a tough situation there in the top of the third. The 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike. 1-1 to count now to Tate Ritchie. Runners on second and third with one out. A line drive by Flores to the second baseman, Kiki. He catches it and throws to Holly at second base to double off Farmer to get out of the inning. The 1-1 pitch hit ball out to the second baseman. It's bobbled, picked up, thrown to first base in time. Pantuso to Farmer for the out. 4-3 to retire Ritchie for out number 1. That'll bring up the third baseman, Riley Leininger. The one out and the base is empty here in the bottom of the third. Leininger reached on a base on balls back in the first inning, was left stranded at second base. Steps in here with one out and the base is empty. Leininger 1 for 3 in the game earlier today. Struck out twice, had an RBI. And I think the second baseman, Pantuso, might have cut that ball in the midsection. So take a quick timeout while they check on him. We'll be right back with Eagle Baseball. Back here at Eagle Field as Coach Gordon Gessel makes his way back to the dugout. Pantuso is all right. He stays in the ball game. Leininger will step up. See the first pitch of the at-bat with the bases empty. First pitch stays up and away for ball one to Riley Leininger. Ryan Taylor in for his third inning of work for the Jaguars. The 1-0 pitch to Leininger. Leininger lays off and gets it called a called strike on the outside corner. 1-1 the count. Taylor from the windup. The 1-1 pitch to Leininger. Up and away, ball two. 2-1 the count to Leininger. Luke Colley, the shortstop, on deck for your Eagles. Trailing by one here in the bottom of the third. One out, the base is empty. The 2-1 pitch to Leininger. He lays off and takes it low for ball three. 3-1 the count. The 3-1 pitch from Taylor. Leininger, a big swing and a miss. Strike two, full count now. The third baseman, Riley Leininger. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Base is empty here in the bottom of the third. Leininger back in from the left side. Taylor gets the sign from the catcher, Chilcutt. The payout pitch. Leininger, a swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning.
Now batting, number 6, Luke Colley.
Luke Colley will step in. He walked back in the first inning. Steps in here 0 for 0 in the ball game. 2 outs and the base is empty. Taylor from the windup. The first pitch to Holly. Way outside for ball one. 1-0 the count to Luke Holly. Should Holly get on base, Jackson Rainey waits on deck for the Eagles. 1-0 the count. The 1-0 pitch. Slow breaking pitch in there for a called strike. 1-1 now the count to Luke Holly. Taylor gets the sign. The 1-1 pitch to Holly. Line drive and save yourself. Taylor happened to have his glove in the right spot at the right time. Snags the line drive. L1 in the book to retire Holly for out number 3, and the Eagles go in order here in the bottom of the third. We go to the top of the fourth. Eagle baseball continues in just a minute. We come back for the top of the fourth inning here at Eagle Field. A pitching change for your Georgetown Eagles. Now on the mound for Georgetown is the 6'2", 215-pound senior right-hander, number 11, Jackson Rainey. Devin Peterson leaves after 3 innings pitched, and he will stay in at the DH spot. And Jackson Rainey comes on for the Eagles here in the top of the fourth for his first work of the tournament. I say that. I'm going to look back in the scores book. I believe it's his first action of the tournament. It is. So Rainey comes in here in relief of Peterson as we go to the top of the fourth. Georgetown trails by 1 to the San Antonio Johnson Jaguars. Up here for the Jaguars in the top of the fourth inning will be the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Number 12, Derek Maples, Samuel Draper, and Ryan Maples. Rainey will work from the stretch. The first pitch to Maples is low and outside, ball 1. Derek Maples is 1 for 1 in the ball game, singled, and was left stranded in the second inning. The 1-0 pitch, low and outside, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Rainey works from the first base side of the rubber. Comes set in the stretch, the 2-0 pitch. It's in there. No, missed just low, I guess. 3-0. The count to Maples. Rainey comes set. The 3-0 pitch. Low for ball 4. And the leadoff batter draws the walk here in the top of the fourth for the Jaguars.
Next up,
number 4, Samuel Draper, the left fielder, steps in. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He flew out to the left fielder, Andrew Nations, back in the second inning. Steps in here with a runner on first and no outs. The pitch from Rainey, low and outside. Great job by Herrera to save that one from getting away and letting the runner advance. Ball 1 to Draper. Draper had squared the bunt. Pulled it back, now steps back in. Rainey comes set from the stretch. 1-0 the count. As Derek Maples leads off. The 1-0 pitch, outside ball 2. Throw down behind Maples, he's back in time. And a 2-0 count here to Samuel Draper. No outs and a runner on first here in the top of the fourth. 1-0. Johnson Jaguars lead it. 1 run in the top of the first. The 2-0 pitch. In there, or a called strike, 2-1 the count now. To Samuel Draper with Ryan Maples, the left field or the third baseman on deck for the Jaguars. Derek Maples leads off first, held on by Floyd to throw over. And Maples back there at first base. The 2-1 pitch. Draper bunts it out in front of the mound. Herrera and Leininger collide. Herrera is down. The ball gets away, and both runners will advance. Herrera's right hand is hurt. So it'll be a timeout here. Maybe the last we see of Reese Herrera here tonight. His right hand wrist is hurt. We'll take a timeout. Eagle baseball will continue in just a moment. And back here at Eagle Field to straighten out everything that occurred. So an error on the play. I'm not going to assign it to whoever it was. It's going to be between Herrera and Leininger, but Leininger and Herrera collide. Herrera is out of the ball game, and Reese Seaman, number 13, comes in to catch for your Eagles. He is the 5'10", 170-pound junior that will come in now behind the plate in place of Reese Herrera in the number 6 slot in the lineup as well. And in steps number 22, Ryan Maples, the third baseman, with runners on second and third with no outs here in the top of the fourth. Rainey looks in to try to get the sign. They got to figure this out and get everything settled in with the new catcher behind the plate. Now at the plate is number 20. So this is a pinch hitter here. This is number 20 now up to bat. That is Cade Pantuso. So we'll see what the change is here. Check on that. Hold on one sec. It is Cade Pantuso, and he'll bunt it down the third baseline. It's going to trickle foul. Leininger will grab that one, so it'll be an 0-1 count. So I don't know if Cade Pantuso, number 20, is pinch hitting or coming into the ball game for Ryan Maples, but we'll put him in here at the fourth inning as batting in the number 9 slot. He fouls it off. It's 0-1 count now. To Cade Pantuso. On deck is Kason Cunningham. Rainey comes set. 0-1 to count to Cade Pantuso. He squares the bunt. The 0-1 pitch up and away. Ball one. So 1-1 the count to Cade Pantuso here in the number 9 slot with runners on second and third and no outs for the Jaguars. The 1-1 pitch misses for ball 2. 2-1 the count now to Cade Pantuso. Pinch hitter here for the Jaguars in the number 9 slot. Squares to bunt. The 2-1 pitch. Stays just high. Ball 3. 3-1 the count now. Cade Pantuso. So a 3-1 count with runners on second and third and no outs. The pitch from Rainey. In there for a called strike. 3-2 now. Three and two the count with no outs. Runners at second and third. The infield in for the Eagles up on the grass. Rainey comes set in the stretch. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So the first out of an inning there is Cade Pantuso chases it for strike 3. First strikeout for Rainey.
Number 6, Cunningham.
Takes you to the top of the lineup. Number 6, Kason Cunningham, the shortstop. He's walked in both of his plate appearances. Steps in here with 1 out and runners on second and third. Rainey comes set in the stretch. The infield stays on the grass. The first pitch, low and inside, ball 1. In case you missed, during the break, Reese Seaman back behind the plate now. Reese Herrera hurt in the collision with Leininger on that bunt play. He leaves the ball game. Reese Seaman now behind the plate in the 6th slot in the lineup for the Eagles. Rainey comes set, the 1-0 pitch. Stays high, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Kason Cunningham. Rainey comes set, the 2-0 pitch. The ball hit into center field, the line drive. Tate Ritchie is going to fall in front of him for a base hit. That'll score 1. The throw to third is going to allow the runner to get up to second base. So they go for the lead runner, and now it gives the Kason Cunningham to advance on the throw. scores one as Derek Maple scores from third base. The second run of the ball game on the base hit RBI by Kason Cunningham.
Number 7, Reese.
So the second run of the ball game. I apologize. I thought it was up there. And now runners at second and third again with one out. Samuel Draper up to third. Cunningham advances to second on the throw. The first pitch to Tristan Reese is called strike one. So 0-1 to count. Rainey comes set. The 0-1 pitch. Foul tipped into the glove of Seaman for strike two. 0-2 now the count. To Tristan Reese. He's over one in the ball game. A sack bunt in the first. And then flew out to short in the second inning. Steps in here. It's 0-2 with one out. Runners at second and third. The 0-2 pitch up and away. Ball one. Samuel Draper, the runner at third. Kason Cunningham down at second. An RBI single advances on the throw to third base. 1-2 pitch stays high. Ball two. 2-2 now the count. Chad Pantuso, the second baseman on deck for the Jaguars. The 2-2 pitch. Line drive hit out into right field. It's going to, no, what a catch made there. Great play made there in right field. I guess I need to figure out if it's Justin Soto who had come in for Jackson Rainey. I missed that when Rainey went to the mound that he came out of right field. Justin Soto makes a diving catch, and both runners have to stay put. So now 2 outs in the inning. And in steps Chad Pantuso, the second baseman. First pitch in there for a called strike. What a job there. L9 in the book for out number 2 by Justin Soto. 0-1 to count to Chad Pantuso, number 8. The 0-1 pitch inside corner, called strike 2 as Rainey settles in here. Pantuso 0 for 2 in the ballgame, reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run in the first. Struck out swinging in the third. Steps back in here. He reached pace on that, struck out swinging. Correction, he did not. He struck out swinging for the first out of the inning. The 0-2 pitch misses for ball one. 1-2 now the count. To Pantuso. Rainey comes set in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. That hits him. So the base is full of Jaguars now after the hit by pitch. Loads them up for the number 4 hitter in the lineup, Masa Chilcutt, the catcher.
Now batting number 2, Chilcutt.
Rainey's first batter hit by a pitch. And now Chilcutt steps in. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. Walked in the first and was left stranded on base. Doubled and left stranded in the third. Steps in here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. First pitch outside corner, called strike 1. 0-1 to count. Rainey in the stretch, looks in and gets the signal from Reese Seaman, the catcher. Comes set, the 0-1 pitch. Breaking pitch, inside corner, called strike 2. Oh, 2 the count to Masa Chilcutt. 2-0. Johnson leads it here in the top of the 4th. Bases loaded with 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch. Low and outside. Great block by Reese Seaman to keep that in front of him so the runners couldn't advance. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to the cleanup hitter, Masa Chilcutt. Rainey comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Line drive into left field. That'll score at least 1. Nation's up with it. Can't handle it. It's off his glove. Here comes the second run. And the runners will advance to second and third. 2 runs across. On the base hit by Masa Chilcutt.
Now batting number 23, Farmer.
It's an 2 RBI single. by Chilcutt. Advances to second on the throw to third base. And now the courtesy runner for the catcher, Chilcutt, is number 16. For the Jaguars, that's Munguia. The first pitch to J.T. Farmers on the outside corner for a called strike. So Draper scores from third on that base hit. Kason Cunningham scores from second to make it 4-0. Farmer hit by the pitch. Will load the bases back up here with 2 outs. Chad Pantuso up to third base. Now J.T. Farmer down to first with the hit by pitch. Second of the inning by Rainey. Bases loaded for number 1, Diego Flores. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. The first pitch from Rainey. Base hit up the middle. It's hit into center field. It'll bring in 2 more runs. It goes up the leg of Ritchie to right field. The second run scores, and that'll allow Diego Flores to get all the way to second base. Chad Pantuso scores, along with Munguia, the courtesy runner. So the Jaguars lead it 6-0 here. Runners at second and third, still with 2 outs. And Derek Maples, who started the inning at the plate, steps up. For the second time, he reached on a walk and scored a run here in the inning. Now a visit from Coach Chad Payne. We'll take a quick break. Eagle Baseball continues in a moment. We're back here at Eagle Field. The visit is over. And in steps Derek Maples, the 10th batter faced here in the top of the 4th for the Eagles. The first pitch is inside for ball 1. Not sure that made sense. It was an inside pitch for ball 1. Rainey comes set. 1-0 the pitch to Derek Maples. Line drive, or fly ball, hit to right field. Justin Soto will settle under it, make the catch for out number 3. And the inning comes to a close for the Jaguars, but not before they put 5 runs on the board and take a 6-run lead over your Eagles, 6-0, as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning live here on the SHN Sports Network. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Jackson Rainey will lead it off. First pitch from Taylor is up and away. Ball 1 to Jackson Rainey. 1-0 the count. Rainey back in from the left side. Taylor, his 4th inning of work from the windup. The 1-0 pitch. Fouled off back to the screen. 1-1 the count. A 1-1 strike to the leadoff man here in the 4th inning. Jackson Rainey. Rainey ready to go. Taylor a long look in from the windup. The 1-1 pitch. That one stays low. Ball 2. 2-1 the count now to Jackson Rainey. The 2-1 pitch. Outside corner, called strike 2. 2-2 now to Jackson Rainey. Reese Seaman on deck. Andrew Nations in the hole for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 4th. Trailing by 6. Rainey fouls this one back out of play and stays alive in the at-bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Defensively, Ryan Maple stays in the game at third base. So just a pinch hit by Cade Pantuso there. Back in the top of the 4th. Taylor from the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Rainey is swinging a miss, strike 3. For out number 1.
Now batting number 13.
That'll bring Reese Seaman to the plate. He came in the top half of the inning after the injury to Reese Herrera. Seaman steps in from the left side. Taylor from the windup. The first pitch to Seaman. Stays high, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch to Reese. Pop fly left side of the infield. Maples will drift into foul territory, make the catch for out number 2. P5 in the book to retire Seaman for the 2nd out. That'll bring up Andrew Nations. He's 0 for 0 in the ball game as he laid down a beautiful sac bunt back in the 2nd inning.
Andrew Nations
steps in here with 2 outs and the base is empty in the bottom of the 4th, trailing by 6. The first pitch from Taylor. Ground ball right back to Taylor on a high hop. He felt it, pitches over to first base for out number 3. And the Eagles go in order here in the bottom of the 4th. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the top of the 5th. Eagle baseball continues in a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. contact action here. We go to the top of the fifth. 6-0. S.A. Johnson leads it. The first pitch is in there for a called strike. To the Liddell batter, Samuel Draper. The 0-1 pitch in there for a called strike, 2. 0-2 the count now to Draper. Draper 0 for 2 in the ball game. Flew out in the second. Reached on an error in the fourth and scored. Chases this one. Thrown out at first base. It should have been batter interference. The ball. The bat hit the ball when the batter put the ball down. It hit the ball. It should have been automatic dead ball, and he's out. But a good place by Reseam to pick it up and fire it to first base for the out. Strikeout recorded in the book for Rainey.
Now batting 22, Maples.
Second strikeout for Rainey. In steps Ryan Maples. Takes the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 the count. Rainey comes set. The 1-0 pitch. This misses outside. Ball 2. 2-0 the count. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 2-1 the count now. Rainey comes set. Ryan Maples back in the box. The 2-1 pitch. Line drive sent over the shortstop's head into left field. And it's a 1-out single to left field for Maples, his first hit of the ball game.
Next up, number 6.
Top of the lineup back up now. Kason Cunningham up for his 4th at-bat of the ball game. Walked at his 2 first plate appearances. Singled and scored a run in the 4th. Steps in here with 1 out and a runner at first. Looks like there may be a pitching change from head coach Jordan Vieira here. Take a timeout. Eagle baseball will continue in just a moment. back here out of the pitching change. Cord Lawrence comes on to pitch here in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Faces off against number 6, Kason Cunningham. 0-1 to count. Lawrence works from the stretch with the runner on first and 1 out. The 0-1 pitch. Fly ball sent down the left field line is curling, and it's going to land just foul. So a long strike will make it 0-2 to Kason Cunningham. So Ryan Maples heads back to first base. And Kason Cunningham comes back to the plate. No balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Here in the top of the 5th inning. 6-0. San Antonio Johnson leads it over Georgetown. Cunningham back in from the left side. The shortstop for the Jaguars. Lawrence comes set in the stretch for the first base side of the rubber. The 0-2 pitch stays down on the turf for ball 1. 1-2 the count. To Cunningham. The sun has set behind the stadium here. A little bit easier to see. The night settles in. The 1-2 pitch from Lawrence. Stays up and away for ball 2. 2-2 now the count. Lawrence gets the sign and comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Ball hit out in center field. Tate Ritchie on his horse. Not going to be able to get to it. It's going to hop over him, 1 hop off the wall. Ryan Maples will come all the way around from first to score. And Kason Cunningham into third base with a stand-up RBI triple. 7-0 now the score. The Jaguars lead it. Kason Cunningham, the shortstop. The RBI triple, his second hit of the ball game.
Now hitting.
Now coming up is a pinch hitter. This will be number 9, Nicholas Ditmore. Pinch hitting for Tristan Reese. First pitch from Lawrence. Popped up on the infield. Reese Seaman tracks it in foul territory and makes the catch for out number 2. Nice play by Seaman there behind the plate. 2 outs now with the runner at third. And in steps number 8, Chad Pantuso.
Number 8, Pantuso.
So P2 in the book for the second out of the inning. Pantuso steps back in. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Takes the first one for a ball. 1-0 the count. Reached on the fielder's choice in the first, scored a run, struck out swinging in the third, and then was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the fourth. The 1-0 pitch, breaking pitch in there for a called strike. 1-1 to count. To Chad Pantuso. On deck, number 2, Masa Chilcutt for the Jaguars. Cord Lawrence from the stretch. Comes set, the 1-1 pitch. Stays inside for ball 2, 2-1. Lawrence, the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball hit out towards short. Holly charges, fields it, but it's off his glove. And that'll be an error there on the shortstop. Holly will lead to another run here in the ball game. With 2 outs, a runner at first. 8-0 the lead. Fifth error of the ball game on the Eagle defense.
Now batting number 2, Chilcutt.
Chilcutt will step in here with 2 outs and a runner at first. Fluid will hold on the runner. Pantuso. Pitch from Lawrence stays up and in. Ball 1. Want to know the count. Tomasa Chilcutt, the catcher. Walked in the first, doubled in the third, singled in the fourth. Throw over to first base, not in time. Pantuso dives back in safely. Choke cut back in from the right side. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 5th, 8-0 your score. Throw over to first base again. Pantuso dives back in safely. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Cord Lawrence looks in and gets the sign from Reese Seaman. The throw pitch in, 1-0, down in the dirt, gets away from Seaman, throws down, and he's going to get Pantuso. Pantuso thought it got further away, and a caught stealing there by Reese Seaman to end the inning. So Massa choke cuts at bat, cut short there as the Eagles get the 3rd out on the caught stealing. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. 8-0, Georgetown trails it. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. And back here, we go to the bottom of the 5th. David Fluid due up to lead off the Eagles. Against Taylor continuing to pitch here for the Jaguars. Fluid steps in. First pitch from Taylor. Fluid lays off and takes it just high for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Fluid sends it into left center field. That's going to be a base hit. It's going to be extra bases. Fluid rounds first. He's headed second. It gets all the way to the wall. And Fluid will cruise into second base with a stand-up double to start off the bottom of the 5th here. Nice shot there by David Fluid to get the inning started for the Eagles. Runner at second.
Now batting for the Eagles, number 2, Talon Ball.
And now Talon Ball will pinch hit here for Jack Kiki. Talon Ball steps in the 9-hole. First pitch from Taylor from the stretch to Ball. Down low and outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Just the second hit of the ball game for the Eagles there by Fluid, the double. The 1-0 pitch to Talon Ball. Up over. Fluid's going to take off for third, but it came right back off the padding, and Fluid now in a rundown, and he'll be checked. Luckily, not much more commotion after the hard tag there by Chad Pantuso that knocked Fluid down. He immediately looked at the umpire knowing he took a shot at the back of Fluid. But Fluid gunned down on the 2-5-4. Caught stealing there. Or the first out of the inning. 2-0 the count to Talon Ball. The 2-0 pitch misses for ball 3. So we race the runner, put the out on the board. And the Eagles still trail by 8. 3-0 pitch for ball. It's in there for a called strike. 3-1 the countdown. Ball back in from the right side. Taylor's pitch. The outside corner for a called strike. Count goes to full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Taylor from the windup. The payoff pitch. Ball fouls it back out of play down the first baseline. Stays alive in the at-bat. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Taylor gets the sign from the windup. The payoff pitch. Ball, a swing and a miss. Strike 3. And the second out of the inning comes via the strikeout.
Next up, number 17, Devin Peterson.
That'll bring up Devin Peterson, the designated hitter. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Doubled and got thrown out trying to make it to third in the first. Struck out swinging in the second. Steps up here in the 5th with 2 outs and the base is empty. Pops this one back out of play down the first baseline for strike 1. 0-1 the count to Devin Peterson. On deck, Tate Ritchie. Should Peterson be able to extend the inning? From the windup, the 0-1 pitch. Peterson lays off and takes it low and inside for ball 1. 1-1 to count to the senior DH. The 1-1 pitch inside, ball 2. 2-1 the count now. Get caught up here. 2-1 the count to Devin Peterson. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. 8-0. The Jaguars lead it. 8 runs, 7 hits, no errors. This ball hit right past the pitcher into center field. The 3rd hit of the ball game for the Eagles. A 2-out single by Devin Peterson. Has a runner on first base for Tate Ritchie as he comes up to bat.
Next up, number 5, Tate Ritchie.
Here in the bottom of the 5th. Ritchie will step in. 0 for 2 in the ball game. A strikeout and a ground out. Steps in here with 2 outs and a runner at first. Farmer holds Peterson on at first base. Taylor goes to the stretch. The first pitch, Ritchie fakes the bunt, takes it up and away for ball 1. Ritchie steps back in. 1 ball, no strikes. Peterson leads off first. The 1-0 pitch. Ground ball out towards short. Third baseman will cut it off. The throw across the diamond in time. And the Eagles are retired here in the bottom of the 5th. 5-3 on the putout to retire Ritchie. And after 5 complete innings, it's an 8-0 lead for the San Antonio Jaguars. We'll be right back with more Eagle baseball here in just a minute. And we go to the top of the 6th inning. Cord Lawrence still on the mound for your Georgetown Eagles. He'll face off against number 2. Masa Chilcutt, the catcher, steps back in here in the 6th inning. Leading things off. This one low and outside, ball 1. Chilcutt, 2 for 2 on the day. Walked, doubled, and singled. Steps in here to lead things off for the Jaguars. 1-0 pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. 2-0 to Chilcutt on deck. Number 23, J.T. Farmer, the first baseman. Nope. It'll be a pinch hitter. So we'll look and see who that is. The 2-0 pitch from Cord Lawrence. Misses high for ball 3. The 3-0 pitch catches the inside corner. We're called strike 1. 3-1 the count now. Masa Chilcutt. The 3-1 pitch misses up. Ball 4. A leadoff runner up board on a walk. Now the pinch hitter, number 13.
Now batting number 13, Josh Dubois.
Josh Dubois steps in to pinch hit for J.T. Farmer here in the top of the 6th inning. A runner on first, no outs. Cord Lawrence staying the stretch here with the runner at first. Held on by Fluid, a throw over to first base. Chilcutt dives back in safely there. Diego Flores on deck for the Jaguars here in the top of the 6th. First pitch to Dubois. Line drive slapped down the third baseline, but just foul. So a long strike. To Dubois. 0-1 count here with no outs. A runner at first base, a leadoff walk to Masa Chilcutt. The Jaguars, 8 runs on 7 hits, no errors. The Eagles, 0 runs, 3 hits, 5 errors in the ball game. Imagine that will be the focus area for the Eagles on the next tournament next weekend with Coach Vieira and the staff. To focus on the defense for this Eagle team. The 1-0 pitch, 0-1 pitch is low and outside, ball 1. And Chilcutt will take second base without a throw here. 1-1 to count to Dubois. Lawrence comes set in the stretch. A look back at second base. The 1-1 pitch. Low and outside. Good work by Reese Seaman to keep it in front of him. 2-1 the count now. To Josh Dubois, the pinch hitter here for the Jaguars. Cord Lawrence comes set. The 2-1 pitch. Misses just low. Ball 3. 3-1 the count. And 1 to count, the 3-1 pitch. And a ball out in the left center. It's going to be a base hit. And that'll score Chilcutt from second. Dubois around first, headed to second. And he'll hold up there with an RBI double. So a pinch hit, RBI double by Dubois. Scores Chilcutt from second base. And now a 9-0 lead for the Jaguars. Runner at second base with no outs. And Diego Flores will step in, the center fielder. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. Lawrence from the stretch, the first pitch. Misses low, ball 1 to Diego Flores. 1-0 the count. The 1-0 pitch. Hit out past shortstop, and diving Holly can't get to it. It's into left field, quickly in with it is Andrew Nations. Dubois stops at third base, but a no-out single. Now has runners on the corners.
Now batting 12, Maples.
Derek Maples will step in, the DH, with no outs and runners on the corners. So they'll make a swap here. It'll be a pinch hitter. Looks like it'll be number 21, Aiden Carmona. Beautiful. Well played. Music by the press box. Number 21, Aiden Carmona, will come in to hit. Pinch hit for Derek Maples, the DH, here in the top of the 6th inning. As he walks up, you hear the music in the background.
Now batting number 21, Aiden Carmona.
Sorry, that was beautiful. I apologize. That was gorgeous. In steps Carmona. Runners on the corners and no outs. Throw over to first base. Flores dives back in safely there. Cord Lawrence still on the mound. Works from the stretch with runners on the corners and no outs. Lawrence will come set in the stretch. The first pitch to Carmona. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Carmona back in from the right side. The 0-1 pitch. Falls off short and outside. 1-1 the count. Carmona, the pinch hitter, the 5'10", 170-pound senior infielder. Bats right, throws right, steps in here. 1-1 count. The 1-1 pitch. Outside corner, called strike 2. Beautiful breaking pitch there by Cord Lawrence. 1-2 the count now. No outs here in the top of the 6th. Runners on the corners, 1 across in the inning. 9-0. The 1-2 pitch outside, ball 2. 2-2 the count now. Cord Lawrence. Timeout called at the plate by Reese Seaman. He'll go out and visit with his pitcher, Cord Lawrence. Two balls, 2 strikes. Lawrence comes set, the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball hit out to short. Holly will field it, throw to second for 1. On to first, it's high. Fluid does a good job of keeping it past from flying to the fence or out of play. But that'll score the run from third base. Now have a runner at first base with 1 out. Here in the inning, 10-0, Johnson leads it. It's Carmona. Reaches on the fielder's choice. Gets the RBI. Diego Flores cut down on the 6-4 at first base, or at second base for 1 out. As Dubois scored from third. Second run of the inning, 10th of the ball game. In steps Samuel Draper. Nope, it is not Samuel Draper. It is number 19, Sebastian Garcia. He's pinch hitting for Samuel Draper for the Johnson Jaguars. First pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 1. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Nice job by Cord Lawrence. 0-2 the count here. One out and a runner at first. Sebastian Garcia, the pinch hitter, back in from the right side. Lawrence comes set. The 0-2 pitch. Outside for ball 1. 1-2 to count now. One-two pitch fouled off back to the backstop. Sebastian Garcia stays alive in the at-bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at first base. One-two pitch fouled off again. Garcia continues to do battle. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at third, or at first. 2 outs across, 2 runs across the inning. 10-0. Johnson Jaguars lead it over Georgetown. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball fouled off. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. The night sets behind us. Lawrence comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Outside corner. Called strike 3. Nice pitch there by Corey Lawrence for the strikeout. Went to the corner and got it. So 2 outs here in the inning. And in steps
Next up, number 22, Maples.
Ryan Maples. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. First pitch in there for a called strike to Maples. Lawrence comes set. Look at first. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike 2. Beautiful off-speed breaking pitch. Drops right in there for the called strike. And now an 0-2 count with 2 outs. A runner at first here in the top of the 6th. 10-0. Johnson leads it. 10 runs on 9 hits. No errors. No runs, 3 hits, 5 errors for the Eagles. Lawrence comes set. The 0-2 pitch. Down to the turf. Nice block by the catcher, Reese Seaman. And a 1-2 count now. Lawrence comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Inside corner. Called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts looking to get the Eagles out of the inning. Here in the top of the 6th. But not before. The Jaguars pick up 2 more runs and take a 10-0 lead going into the bottom of the 6th. We'll be right back. Eagle baseball continues in just a moment. back to action as we go to the bottom of the sixth. The first pitch from Taylor misses outside for ball one. To number 7, Hayden Grooms steps in here in place of Riley Leininger. The 1-0 pitch fouled off back to the screen. 1-1 now the count to Hayden Grooms. Taylor from the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Stays high, ball 2. Two and 1 the count. The 1-1 pitch. A swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2 the count. Make that 2-2 the count. The 2-2 pitch popped up on the infield by Grooms. The pitcher, Taylor, calls for it and makes the catch just behind the mound for out number 1. So P1 in the book for out number 1 to retire Hayden Grooms. And in steps a pinch hitter, number 22. That'll be Jaden Howe, pinch hitting for Luke Holly here in the bottom of the 6th. Howe will step in here to hit for Holly in the 6th inning. First pitch misses for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch from Taylor. Inside corner, called strike 1. Chilcutt will go out to visit with this pitcher, Taylor. 0-1, or 1-1 the count to Hayden Grooms, or correction, Jaden Howe. Hayden Grooms just popped out. Jaden Howe, the pinch hitter here for the Eagles. Howe in from the left side. The 1-1 pitch from Taylor. Up and away, ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike to the left-handed hitting Howe. Taylor from the windup, the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Two and 2 the count to Jaden Howe, the pinch hitter with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. From the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Howe fouls it off down the third baseline, out of play. Stays alive in the at-bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Howe sends it down the third baseline, but it curls out of play. So a good job here by Howe to battle with the 2-2 count. Stay alive in the at-bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Two pitch fouled off again. Jaden Howe continues to battle here against Taylor. The 2-2 pitch. Howe fouls it off again. The 4th fouled off pitch in a row. The 8th pitch of the at-bat. The next one, the 9th of the at-bat for Jaden Howe. Pinch hitting here in the bottom of the 6th. From the windup, the 2-2 pitch. A swing and a miss, strike 3. And Howe's down on strikes for out number 2. Now, Cord Lawrence will step into bat here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Lawrence will step in from the right side. Taylor from the windup. The first pitch to Cord. Outside corner, called strike 1. Taylor from the windup, the 0-1 pitch. Fouled off, back out of play. 0-2, now the count to Cord Lawrence. From the windup, the 0-2 pitch. Inside corner just misses for ball one, 1-2. Taylor from the windup gets the sign, the 1-2 pitch to Cord. That one down on the turf for ball two, 2-2 to count. Two balls, two strikes, two outs here in the bottom of the sixth. Base is empty for the Eagles. Cord Lawrence steps back in. Taylor shakes off about 8 pitches, now gets the sign. The 2-2 pitch. Low, ball 3. Full count for Cord Lawrence. Receiving the catcher on deck. Should Lawrence extend the inning? 2 outs here for the Eagles in the bottom of the sixth. The payoff pitch to Lawrence. Called strike 3. That'll be the ball game. 10-0. The San Antonio Jaguars win it over your Georgetown Eagles 10-0.
And that's the ball game.
We will take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll close it out.
Please pick up your trash on your way
Georgetown
out.
Eagle Baseball brought to you by First Responder Broadcasting here on the SHN Sports Network. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment. Back here live, Eagle Field. The Eagles fall 10-0 San Antonio Johnson. And in the 6-game tournament here in the Central Texas First Pitch Classic, the Eagles go 2-4 to open up the season. The next 2 weekends, they'll be on the road. And then we will be back with you for district play. We'll be back here at Eagle Field on March the 12th to take on the Conley Cougars in the first district ball game. And then on the road Wednesday the 13th for the ball game at Conley High School for the spring break week. The Eagles fall 10-0 here tonight to the Johnson Jaguars. Things to work on. Coach has talked to me about that the entire weekend, and it's what this tournament is all about for the Eagles. Schedule the tough teams and figure out and work on where you got to get better. And it's the best thing for this team, and they continue to do it each and every year. And so they'll do those changes and make those efforts over the next couple of weeks as they travel down to the San Antonio area and up to the Dallas area to play more baseball against some more good teams in the Texas area. Thanks for joining us live here tonight on the SHN Sports Network. First Responder Broadcasting will bring you all things Georgetown Eagle baseball this season. Join us live again on March the 12th, live here on the SHN Sports Network at Eagle Field, as district play will start that night against the Conley Cougars. Thanks for joining us. Remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind. Have a good weekend, everybody.